My name is Wolfgang White. I've been uploading content on Pornhub and OnlyFans since 2020 on an on and off basis. And right now, I gotta be honest, I'm feeling a little discouraged. I don't have any specific particular reason why. I just am not in a current phase where I'm feeling like super motivated and I'm getting like moments of success like I've had in the past. Now, to be fully transparent and to give the full context, when I started to upload content on Pornhub and OnlyFans in 2020, I was also easily discouraged back then. Um, it just seemed almost impossible for a man to make mostly solo content and have it be immediately successful or even viable as a business venture. But those were all stories I told myself in my head. In fact, I didn't even give myself enough of a chance to really, call it quits. I just, it's a classic case of I didn't get much success quickly on OnlyFans and Pornhub back in 2020. And I was also interested in stand-up comedy and other things. So I just chalked it up to, well, especially at that time, it's just not for me, or it's more of a pipe dream kind of thing. Maybe I'll just keep it as a silly little hobby once in a while. But this year, 2023, for a couple of reasons, I decided, you know what, before I call it quits officially on this whole thing, I need to give this an actual legitimate chance. The reason I'm making this video today is maybe to show a side of online sex work that I think gets completely lost out there in the ether. I look at a lot of YouTube videos and from other sex workers, so many lovely people, genuine good souls, but I have yet to see, besides like the one odd video or two, I have yet to see like a male creator like myself who's in a similar situation as myself. So I don't know. I feel like it's maybe it's my turn to contribute to the sort of community of online sex workers. And what I want to do right now that I think is going to be good for my soul, because as you can maybe tell from my tone and the things I'm talking about, I sound super depressed, and maybe I am going through a light depression, or just at least some kind of sadness. I think I need to sort of go over my why, and also, as silly as it sounds, like, because I have had previous moments of success, and as dumb as it may sound, I've had like a lot of comments from people who are into the stuff that I do, who are into the content that I do, and I need to kind of remind myself of that, and I think I'm going to write them down. So bear with me. I apologize for being such a Debbie Downer, especially if this is your first time meeting me through the wonderful world of the internet. But we're going to go through some comments that I've received over the years. Okay, so the first comment that I found, I went all the way back to amongst my first videos uploaded 2 years ago, or probably coming up on 3 years ago. This is from a video called A Very Cumshot Christmas, Vocal Solo Male Roleplay, Dirty Talk Domination, Moaning and Coming. Very original title. And the comment says, amazing, I will put your lice up for you. So I'm going to write that down. Okay. This next comment, honestly, is a big reason why I want to do this content. It's from Ass Winks. It says, I'm so glad I found this video. Hearing men say they're coming is so hot, especially when you can see their cute assholes twitch. Then 3 as like a sort of smiley. Thank you for this. And I said back, this is a year ago, I said, thank you so much, Kit Kat. I guess they changed their name. You're making me want to do more vids. Hearing men say they're coming is so hot. That's like I say, it's a big reason why I want to do the content I do, is because from my understanding, there is a market. It's a niche market, but there is a market for men and women who, and people of all genders, who are into male presenting people who come proudly and are vocal and maybe have some dirty talk, and they are not afraid of moaning. So that's what I'm trying to appeal to. There might be a lesson in that video because it's called My 2021 Valentine's Day Plans. And look, I can pretend that I wasn't, but there would have been some kind of sadness there for sure. There definitely would have been some kind of sadness that I was single for Valentine's Day and didn't, have any plans. And so it's like, okay, all right, what do I have? Myself. And so I'm gonna make a video, essentially very simple video. Like I just kept it at masturbation and showing my butt as I jerked off and perhaps played with a fleshlight. But with all those comments, it bled somewhere. Some people saw it, so couldn't have been. It wasn't wasted. Okay, so I've been going over a couple videos that I uploaded, and this would have been back in the day when I wasn't really specializing in like doing role play. I was kind of just messing around. I would essentially film when I was horny, no real preparation. It was kind of like on the spot. Wasn't really taking it seriously yet. But to be fair, some people were into what I was doing at the time. Like I think the video that has the most views from that period is a video called Solo Male, Schoolgirl, Anal Fantasy, Dirty Talk, Loud Moaning, Tight Fleshlight, Intense Orgasm. The sequel is coming soon. That one's got 12.8 thousand views, which is not a lot, but it's okay. It's actually pretty in my material. It's up there in terms of views, so it's not like I'm not in the millions yet. But it's got a couple of like comments, like one guy saying, "Go ahead, Mr. Perfect." Well, that's very nice. Sorry if this is very TMI, but it says, "I want to run your tight hole and worship your feet. Would love to take would love to taste your load off that pussy." Of course, referring to the fleshlight as a pussy. That's hot. And then someone says, "So hot." Thank you. Someone else, "So hot." Just hot. And then Pervert Lovers XXX says, "Oh yes, please. I fucking love that." So that's nice. Again, very sort of sexual comments. They didn't have, like any creativity I would later have wasn't really there in this video yet. So I wasn't. That's why I'm not expecting to get comments on that aspect of what I do of my content. But I would have been definitely motivated by this stuff. It's as much as we like to say that, happiness is an inside job and that any validation you should get should be from yourself. Man, it feels nice to get comments from others, and it feels nice to feel appreciated and valued and desired. So this would have been, I would definitely count this as a win. I would have been happy when I saw those views coming in and those comments coming in. See, there's another video that I've got that's got 5.6 thousand views, and I like this one. It's like the perfect job interview, and I play this sort of interviewer. This would have been the first role play video I would have done, and it's been getting more and more views these days. Actually, it's been on the come up. These days we're early October 2023, and it's been getting more and more views compared to back then. But there's no comments, not a single comment on that video. So it's funny. I don't know what. I think people like to comment when there's already comments, but they won't do it if there's none because they'll feel weird about it. That's my theory. Okay, my next video that I can talk about. This is my video that actually has the most views that I've ever had. Although it's not. The views it's getting these days is not a lot, but it's got the most total views. It's called Solo Male, FPOV. Your high school bully takes it out on you again. Loud moans, dirty talk, facial. So this is a roleplay video. I should have put the word roleplay in the title, honestly. Um, yeah, this, I feel like this has to have hit a nerve in the culture, almost not in the culture, but that sounds very pretentious. But my thinking behind this video, and I feel like it worked, is that I have the casting of a bully. I'm a straight guy, straight-ish, and I kind of look like a bully, I feel. And so the idea is that, okay, well, since I'm aiming for the gay market when I do my content, because in general there's just way more men that watch men than there are women watching men. Although even that is something that I can talk about on another point. Um, the thinking is that basically who would be into my vibe? Well, probably some kind of like twink, sort of smaller gay guy. And there's something about, okay, putting myself back in the days of high school, would this kind of person, like a twink, they might have been like repressed back in high school. They might have had a crush on a guy like me. It's a total cliche, but hey, it's a cliche for a reason. There's some truth to it, probably. Is that the straight guy like me would have like maybe been gay as well, but and they might have like made out and stuff or did more, you know, under the bleachers. But then it's like, oh shit, I gotta go back to my football practice. Don't tell anyone, you know, that kind of thing. Very repressed, and so that's what I'm aiming for, and it seems to have worked. I mean, it's my most viewed video yet. 48,000 views, but it doesn't have many comments, only like 3 almost. And one of them is, can you make one male to female? Hey. So that's what I was kind of referring to. There are women that watch porn and that do watch solo male porn. So, you know, are they like a viable market? I don't know, probably not. But it's that's, you know, when you are a guy who sets off to do porn, at least like amateur porn like I am, and especially solo male porn, the main thing you hear all around is like, well, you know, it's you better be ready for it to be the gay market. You better be ready for it to be just men, which is totally fine. In fact, I have no issues with that whatsoever. But it's been kind of like a nice surprise to have sort of not straggler women, but sort of random women popping in and showing support. And in fact, I believe my highest tip that I've ever received was from a lovely lady in Ireland. So it is kind of it was a nice surprise. And I've noticed, by the way, in these comments, I've noticed names coming up, right? Or at least names coming up again. So it's like April 89A. I know that this person commented on another video. So I have to see that as like acquiring fans. These are real people, right? And do they still enjoy my content? I don't know, maybe. But if they've commented on several of them, at that point, it's no longer just like a random viewer. There's some kind of parasocial relationship that's being built. That's the way I have to see it. I can't like focus on that too much, but I just think it's interesting because the same thing like Hex Sal, I know they commented on another video. They said, I want to rim your hole and worship your cock until you feel me your load. And again, it's just, these are the things I went to a university for, is to make people feel that way when they comment on videos of mine. Okay, this is a video I'm proud of. It got 3,000 views, so obviously, you know, not huge, but it's more than 300. It's creepy director plays with student, FPOV vocal solo male roleplay domination dirty talk. You know, I love playing characters. I love acting, and so to me, it just made all the sense in the world to play a creepy director. I feel like it taps into such a sort of such a hot topic. Power dynamics, abuse of power, the fantasy, the teacher fantasy, there's so much to talk about there, and it's I just think it really stirs up the imagination, and I believe it did for one lady who has one of the best usernames I've ever seen, Goth Throat Goat. Which, listen, if I like all these things, this could really work out. But I believe it's a she. I might be wrong. I believe it's a she. They said, "This is really hot, but my name isn't Kaylee, so that's kind of annoying. Haha. Use a nickname next time, lol." And I don't know why that comment is so awesome, but I think what I appreciate about it is that this person obviously listened enough to the video to hear me say Kaylee, and they paid enough attention. And it's like a constructive criticism, right? It's like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. You know what? And since then, I've kept that in mind. It's like, okay, if I'm going to do role play, I try to keep the viewer kind of. I don't want to say things that are too specific that'll put the viewer off, right? You kind of have to keep it sort of general-ish so that you as the viewer can place yourself in the scene with me. But I wouldn't have thought about that if they hadn't left that comment. So Goth Throat Goat, thank you. That's awesome. And I hope you're enjoying being a Goth Throat Goat. This video has perhaps the greatest comment I've ever gotten. Call me a narcissist, but I mean, how can you beat a comment that says, "Cool, immediately in love with a stranger online"? I mean, obviously they're not really in love with me. They don't really know who I am, and you know, it's they were probably just like feeling it at that moment when they wrote those words down. But I mean, that's the effect I'm trying to have, honestly, because it's like I'm not gonna be the like impressive physical attributes attraction guy, and I feel like that's my strongest suit, is like if I can showcase enough creativity and passion and hopefully authenticity and like all those things, then I'm hoping that I can create almost like an opportunity for the viewer to feel a connection with me, to see that I'm real and that they are enjoying this experience with me as I am. And it's not like my dick isn't impressive enough for me to be like a random dick on the internet and have that be like enough. You know what I mean? And I like to think that porn can be, dare I say, an art form. And that's what I'm trying to go for. It's like when I make a video like this, your AI daddy is going to spit and come on you now. To me, that's kind of obscure enough that I can understand why someone wouldn't be into this. It's like, that's too weird. But maybe some people saw past the sort of obscure title and the vague sort of, like another comment was like transhumanist porn. Wow, welcome to the dark future. That's awesome, because I know this is like a bit of a reach. It's like, I know this isn't going to be for everyone, but I think the person who wrote the immediately in love with a stranger online comment, what they were getting at wasn't, I don't think they were necessarily into the AI thing. I think they could see that I was a guy trying something different, something new, and that they could see through my silly idea, and they could see through that, and they could tell that I was like genuinely trying to create something that, again, hopefully is different, hopefully is someone's cup of tea. And yeah, that's it. That's why I do what I do, honestly. So yeah, that's it. I mean, I feel like I've gotten other comments on OnlyFans. For now, I think I don't want to give you a fucking hour documentary on this thing. It's just, this has felt good to film, honestly, and I'm hoping that people watching this can relate maybe to the journey. I think, the reason I needed to go over these comments that I've gotten is because full transparency, I'm just going to admit it right now, I have doubts as to whether this entire journey, this entire project has the chance to evolve past fun little hobby on the side that's gotten you a couple bucks, but has no chance of being a legit source of income. I think I'd be disappointed if it never can be a full-time thing. It's, to me, that would be the ultimate dream. But even just like if it comes down to being a decent side hustle where it's like I put in a set amount of hours for it and it brings me a decent enough steady income, but I still need to have like something else on the side. Man, I hate to settle, but even that sounds pretty good. But right now I'm not there yet. I think I just gotta have faith, but it's tough. It's tough. So thank you so much for listening. This was my first video in this for this whole channel, and I hope you liked it. And I want to film more. This felt good, and so let me know what would you like to hear from me. Again, if you want to check out my videos on the hub, my account is Wolfgang White XXX. If you do want to support me on OnlyFans, right now it's like I need to update my OnlyFans and everything, but it's onlyfans.com/WolfgangWaveFree. Otherwise, feel free to write a comment on this video, like, subscribe. I wanna contribute to the community here, this wonderful online sex work community. Like I say, I've watched so many videos from other creators. Thank you so much for watching, guys. See you next time.